First step of the makeup, make sure your skin is moisturized. So you put some lotion or something to hydrate your skin. Another thing is, since the party is tomorrow night, make sure you drink a lot of water today and tomorrow, and use a ton of like chapstick or Vaseline on your lips so they're hydrated. Get a foundation that matches your color. I did my spray tan, so I'm not sure like which one I'm gonna use it. This is the Walmart brand. Well, you can find it at Walmart. This is the Maybelline, and it's called the Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I got the shade 122 Creamy Beige. But choose whatever color you think will fit you. It's a cheap foundation, so you're not going to be wasting money if the color is not right. A lot of people, they will do primer. You don't need that, but if you need any kind of primer for your eyelids, which I recommend a lot, buy the e.l.f. primer. I think it's $2 at Walmart, maybe $4, but it's super cheap and really good. And I like to start with my eyes before I go on my face, because usually it tends to go down, you know, like fall over here. So that's what we're going to do. I'll start with a primer that I have here. It's the Too Faced primer, and just pass that on my eyelids. You can use with your fingers, you can use with a brush, whatever you decide is just going to help the eyeshadow to stick to your eyelids, and it won't crease, it just will look nice. Anyway, for eyeshadow, I'm gonna do one eye a little more dramatic and the other one a little more, you know, neutral. Get a easy palette, an easy color palette. Make sure that you get, for the simple one, you get just colors that are very basic. You can buy the Maybelline, you can buy Wet n Wild, you can buy Rimmel, or whatever brand you want at Walmart. Those will work. Just make sure they're good. They have good pigmentation. For brushes, I'll just start. You can buy e.l.f. brushes. They're really cheap and they're really good. Just make sure you start with a brush. It's kind of like fluffy, and you know, I have another brush over here that's kind of like the same. It's just like, it's fluffy. You see, this is actually dirty, but it's just an example. We're going to start on this eye. I will start with a very light brown color. So you put on your, give a little tap and apply right here in between the crease of your eye and the top part of your eyelid. You don't want it to be too dramatic. You just want it to have a little color, just like that. Make sure you hold like the end of your pencil or your brush, whatever, and just add more color. Give a little tap. Take the excess of product. Okay, that's what we're gonna do right here. This is a more simple eye, so we're not gonna go too crazy. I will though add a little darker color to the little corner here. You can use the same brush or a different brush. Just make sure you put a little bit of color, just a little bit. And I'm going to go over here on this corner. See how it got slightly darker? I hope you guys can see that. Okay, just slightly darker. I can add a little more if I want a little more color. So I added a little maroon color right here to the corner of my eye. Not too crazy, okay? Just make sure that if you don't want to, like, if you want to do everything with the same brush, you basically can. Just make sure you kind of clean it on a towel or something, or just like brush it off if you're not using really dark colors. This eye is not too crazy, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna get a little shimmery color. So make sure you have a little glittery thing, okay? And then you can apply with your finger and just tap, 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 kind of rub it a little in there. See, it's a shimmery color. It's not too crazy. You're just gonna add a little bit of glitter, so it's not a too dramatic eye. Very simple, very fast. And to top it off, I like always to put a little light color in here, so you can get a color that's like a little beige or a little yellow or a little champagne color. You're gonna get a flat brush or the same brush. Just make sure that you kind of tap it over here, okay? There you go. See, if you want to go extra, you can put a little bit on the corner of your eye right there. Boom, give a little light. You can add a little more if you want a little more light, a little more color. If you're feeling super confident, you can get a flat brush. See, this brush is kind of flat, a little flat. You can get a little bit of the dark color that we used just on the tip of the brush. I don't know if you guys can see it. Just on the tip of the brush, you can look up and just put a little bit down here. Don't put it inside your eye, just on the outside of the little hairs right there. Just gives a little bit of color. If you're feeling super confident, you can do that. If not, the eye was fine. If you think, oh, but I want a little more to pop up, just put a little more color and just go back, add a little more. If you want a little more glitter, just put more glitter. Now you can do the eyeliner. If you're not confident with the eyeliner, I have this e.l.f. eyeliner. It's a little pen, super easy to use. Okay, and then you're just going to start from the back right here, make very small. Just very small. Don't go big. Don't do a big tip. Just go little by little. Don't even need to go all the way to the eye, just little by little. Then you get the same stuff and just angle. Okay, that's how you get a nice wing. If you're not super confident, you can make a bigger, like a longer wing, or you can have it like this. If you want longer, just make sure to start back there and pull it down. So see, it's a little longer. You can have it more dramatic, or you can just leave it like this. To put your mascara, super simple. The way I do mine, I just get my mascara. It can be, for the cheap mascaras, I recommend the Maybelline ones or the L'Oreal Paris. Those are really good. I close my eye and I put on the back of the lashes like this. Okay. And then I make sure that I kind of dry out the bottom lashes. It always transfers a little. And then I look up and boom. There we go. Very simple. You might get to the same mistake that I did. A little bit transfer to my eyelid right here. You can get the same brush and just like brush it off. And the mascara is going to come out. Okay, this is good. The other eye, I'm going to do a smoky eye. And now let's go to the skin. You're right with your lotion. Now you're going to get your foundation. Make sure you shake your foundation. Make sure you test your foundation on your hand to make sure if it oxidizes. If you haven't tried your stuff yet, put a little bit on the brush. Just a little bit. And then start from here. I like to put some here to take some of the discoloration I have. And then you just go along. You can either use a brush like I'm using right now, or you can use a beauty blend. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that's out there. There we go. So another little dot on the other side. Most foundations are buildable, which means that you can just apply and keep applying if you want a stronger coverage. That works the same way for the Maybelline that I showed you in the beginning. Don't be too rough on your skin, but you also want to make sure that you get all the little areas. You can use a concealer. I don't know what I put my concealer at, but I use the e.l.f. concealer. I just put a little dot here and put a little dot here and a little dot here, and I just use my brush and I do like this to make sure that I take my, my dark circles out. If you don't want to do that and you have a foundation that's a little lighter, you can use just a tad bit of foundation that's a little lighter. Put it over here. The next step, super important, and I recommend for everybody, is to get a powder. Hopefully the powder is going to be the color of your skin. If not, it can be a little bit lighter. Just don't abuse the powder. I'm using a super white powder. It's really, really white, but I don't use a lot. I just make sure that I set under my eyes, especially after the concealer, so it doesn't crease. And I always put it like on the T-zone of my face. And we're gonna go to the bronzer. There's an e.l.f. palette that you can use, super cheap. It comes with 4 colors, and I recommend that. You get a brush, it doesn't matter, like just make sure it's not a flat brush. It can be any kind of brush. I have some e.l.f. brushes and other brushes that are smaller. I'm gonna go with the color. Every time you're trying to do some contour, go with the lighter color first, and then if you're feeling risque, you can do the dark color. So I'm gonna do some of the dark color here. I will start right here on my cheekbone, and I'm gonna go down. So there and go down. See this motion right here. The other side, same thing. Starts on the kind of close to my temple and go down. It creates a little line right here, gives your face a little bit of structure. Make sure that it's not too close to here and it's not too high. It's just like right here on the temple area, okay? Especially if you want your face to have a little more structure. You can flatten your brush a little and just do slightly on your knee. This will make on your nose. This will make sure that your nose has a little more contour to it. Don't go crazy on it, otherwise you're gonna look like Michael Jackson. If you have double chin like me, you can just go right here. Just, put a little bit of bronzer down here, the little contour. The other side too. We want to make sure that it looks like we have some structure on our face. And if you have a big forehead you want to cover a little, you can just go by your hairline and just tap the product in there. Okay, there you go. Bronzed out. Now we're going to do some blush. I recommend always, if you're not sure about what blush to use, always go with a little pink blush. Okay, most everybody will look good on a pink blush. There's the Milani. This is the brand, and this is the blush. It's really nice. It has a shimmery to it. You can get any brush and just put it over here by your temple, and then you go a little bit down. Don't go too crazy. The other side. If you want a highlighter, the e.l.f. palette comes with some highlighter. It will just give, some more light to your face. You can dab it with your finger, or you can just apply with your little brush, whatever works. A lot of people like a lot of highlighter, Just looks nice, especially in photos. A little bit on the tip of your nose, on the bridge of the nose, right here. Just a little goes a long way. And you can put a little here on your Cupid's bow. There you go. Okay. Now we're gonna go to the lipstick part. A lot of people find it hard to do. What I recommend for you, you can practice with a lip liner first and see if that's going to help you to define your lips. Or you can, I just lost my lip liner, or you can just go for it. Most of the time I go for it. It doesn't matter what lipstick you have. If you have a fancy one like I do right here with a different applicator, that's my applicator. So it doesn't really matter. Or if you just have a cheap lipstick that you got at a Walmart for $2, it's still the same. I have this one that I got from Revlon. I think it was like $2-3. It's a pink color. If you want to do a pink color, just let me get closer to you guys. This is my mouth. I will start with my Cupid's bow. And I'll start light, just slowly adding the color. And I'll follow my mouth. The lip right here. See, you don't want to overline it, but you don't want to underline it. So you go just building it up. See, not too crazy. The bottom part I find the most difficult one. So I usually start from the middle. I draw a little thing like this. Just pass it like that. And then with the sharp part of, I go and I extend my lip and I just draw in it. I usually put my finger here to give me some stability while I'm putting my lipstick. See? Gives you some nice color. If you have a liquid lipstick, those tend to be more drying. So I'm going to do the other side with a liquid lipstick. This is my liquid lipstick. I also start from a Cupid's bow with my finger right here. This kind of lipstick, it's kind of hard to put it on because if you mess it up, you mess it up. So just got to be super careful. What I do recommend, and I kind of look like a clown, but you guys will see what I'm trying to do, is if you have a light makeup, make sure that you use a lipstick that pops a little more. If you have a dark makeup, use a lipstick that's not going to pop too much, or you can do whatever you want. Now I'm going to do my smoke tie. Quick tip, if you guys want to do a fake lashes, right? Apply the glue to the lashes. First of all, cut the lashes a little. Most of the time you find lashes that are just too big for your eye and it's not going to look good. So these are examples of lashes that are a little too big for my eye. I'm going to put it on just so you guys can see. I'll put the glue, and my glue is gooey. Don't need to put a lot of glue, just a little bit. I thought I was playing with my glue, so it got lumpy. Okay, so these are like super fuzzy lashes. You can do just regular. Just make sure it dries a little bit. It gets tacky before you put it on your eye, and this should be good. Make sure to put your eye down like this. You're gonna look down as you're applying, so don't be scared. It's gonna be difficult to apply. You're just gonna look down like this. Put your mirror down, just like I'm doing. And make sure to put the middle part right here. And then you glue the rest. Just like that. So you see how these lashes are a little too long. I usually cut close here to the end of the lashes so they're not inside my eye. Then if you need help, just use your finger to kind of slightly put it in there. And here you have a full lash on one side, and you can go crazy like that, or you can use a lash that's a little not too flashy. What I recommend, you're gonna put your lash, you're gonna feel weird, so you just like will press it to blend your lashes with the fake lashes, and that's it.